Good evening, everyone. I'm Jessa Marie Arellano. Today, I will explain what gender-responsive corporate social responsibility initiative means. Gender-responsive CRS refers to corporate activities, policies, and programs intentionally designed to address gender-specific needs and promote inclusivity within the workplace, marketplace, and community. It recognizes that men and women may experience social and economic challenges differently, and therefore, CRS must promote equity, not just equality. Gender-responsive CRS refers to company activities, policies, and programs that are intentionally designed to address the specific needs of men and women. Ibig sabihin, ang mga ginagawa ng company ay hindi lang basta general or one-size-fits-all. They make sure that both men and women are included, supported, and given fair opportunities. It also aims to promote inclusivity sa tatlong areas, sa workplace, sa marketplace, and sa community. So, sa workplace, dapat pantay-pantay ang opportunities. Sa marketplace, dapat pare-parehong na-address ang needs ng customers, mapalalaki man yan na babae. And in the community, dapat may program that support both genders. Another important idea is that men and women experience challenges differently. So, hindi sapat ang equality or treating everyone the same. What company needs to practice is equity, which means giving people the support they specifically need para maging fair talaga. For example, women may need maternity leave for recovery, while men may need paternity leave to support different child care. These are different needs but both are important to achieve fairness. In short, gender-responsive CRS ensure that companies focus on fairness, inclusivity, and understanding the real gender needs, not just giving the same thing to everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Flores, and I'm from Group 1, reporting for microfinance loan and capital support tailored for women-owned small businesses. Microfinance institution and various governmental and non-governmental organizations offers microfinance loan and capital support tailored for women-owned small businesses, often with integrated training and support services to foster success and empowerment. Key providers and program. Several types of organization provides tailored support for women entrepreneurs such as government PAC programs. Agencies like the Philippine Small Businesses Corporation launch a specific fund to provide accessible loan with less stringent conditions to women-led MSME. 2. Microfinance institution. This specialized organization offers small loans, saving plans, and microinsurance to individuals excluded from traditional banking, often using group lending models and alternative credit assessment instead of standard collateral requirements. 3. Non-profit organizations or the NGO. NGO group like the Women Microfinance Initiative provide collateral-free loans, business trainings, and peer group support to women in rural areas, enabling them to build credit histories and eventually transition to formal banking. 4. International bodies. Organizations like the International Labor Organizations and the Asian Development Bank work to create inclusive financial system to expand lending operations. 5. Private sectors the foundations offer grants and resources specifically aimed at female business owners, providing debt-free capital and exposure opportunities. Features of tailored support. These programs are designed to address the specific challenge women entrepreneurs face, such as lack of collateral, limited financial literacy, and social biases. 1. Accessible financing. Loans are typically small or what we call the microcredit, and often do not require traditional collateral, utilizing alternative method like community-based finance scheme. 2. Financial services. Many programs bundle financial product with essential non-financial support, including business skills development training, mentorship and networking, and market leakage promotion. 3. Gender sensitive policies. Institutions are encouraged to adjust loan terms such as repayment schedules and amount to align with women business cash flow and need to ensure non-discriminatory practices. Focus on empowerment. Beyond just income generation, this initiative aims to enhance women's decision-making power within their household and communities, contributing to broader social change and gender equality. That's all po.
Good evening po sa lahat, Ma'am Evelyn, classmates, reporting capacity building workshop and entrepreneurial training targeting marginalized women. Exemplifies a company's commitment to fostering gender equality, empowering women economically and contributing to sustainable community and development. Such programs as increasingly recognized as essential for socially responsible business practices globally and locally in Philippines. This initiative aims to empower women by providing them with the skills and knowledge necessary to start or improve their own businesses, fostering economic independence and social inclusion. Thank you po.
I'm Maria Queenie Delphine of Group 1, reporting for the examples of gender-responsive CSR workplace diversity initiative. First, gender-sensitive recruitment, equal pay, and promotion policies. For gender-sensitive recruitment, this means designing hiring practices that actively prevent gender bias and promote equal opportunities for all genders. It includes using gender-neutral language in job ads, ensuring diverse hiring panels, avoiding questions that disadvantage women, example about pregnancy or family plans, reaching out to talent pools that encourage women and unrepresented genders to apply. Its goal is make the recruitment process fair and inclusive so that candidates are judged on skills, not gender. Number 2, for equal pay. Equal pay means that employees are paid the same wage for the same work, regardless of genders. It includes conducting regular pay audits to identify gender pay gaps, ensuring salary decisions are based on role, skills, and performance, transparent compensation policies. Its goals is remove wage discrimination and ensure fair compensation. For promotion policies, for gender fair or gender equitable promotion, these policies ensure that career advancement opportunities are equally accessible to all genders. It includes clear, objective criteria for promotions, monitoring promotion rates to ensure women or non-binary employees are not overlooked, leadership development programs targeting underrepresented genders, preventing glass ceiling effects. Its goals is make sure career growth is based on merit, not gender bias. The second example is establishing safe, inclusive workplace free from harassment and discrimination. This means creating a work environment where all employees, regardless of gender, feel safe, respected, and valued, and where behaviors or practices that harm or disadvantage people are actively prevented. It includes number one, strong anti harassment and anti discrimination policies. It has clear rules that prohibit sexual harassment, bullying, and gender based discrimination. Policies communicated to all staff and enforced consistently. Another is reporting and support mechanisms. Confidential channels for employees to report harassment or discrimination, protection against retaliation for those who report, professional support services like counseling, HR assistance, training and awareness programs, regular training or gender sensitivity, respectful workplace behavior, and how to identify and prevent harassment. Workshops for managers on how to handle complaints fairly and responsibly. Inclusive workplace culture, encouraging respectful communication and behavior, promoting a culture that values diversity and gender equality. Zero tolerance approach to any form of harassment or discrimination. And last, safe physical and digital workplaces. Safe office environments like proper lighting, secure facility, safe online or virtual environments free from cyber harassment. In summary, these examples means a company is committed to creating a workplace where no one feels threatened, mistreated, or unfairly treated because of their gender. Instead, every employee is given dignity, safety, and equal opportunities, which reflects responsible corporate behavior. Thank you.
Good evening po sa lahat. Classmates, good evening Ma'am Evelyn. I am Florentina Bagapuro reporting for example of gender responsive CSR or corporate social responsibility for workplace diversity initiatives. A maternity and paternity leave policies to promote work-life balance. Workplace diversity initiative that offer comprehensive and equitable maternity and paternity leave policies actively promote work-life balance by fostering an inclusive culture, breaking down gender stereotypes, and providing essential support to all new parents. Maternity and paternity leave policies are crucial diversity initiatives that promote work-life balance by supporting traditional gender norms and fostering a more inclusive and equitable workplace culture. There are key ways parental leave promote diversity and workplace life balance. Promote gender equality. Policies that provide equal leave for all parents, regardless of gender or caregiver status, like birthing, adoptive, or fostering challenge the traditional view of childcare are solely for mother's responsibility. Also, both being employee, being and retention, adequate paid leave allows parents to recover physically and emotionally bond with their new child. In the Philippines, eligible female employees receive 100 days of full pay maternity leave for normal delivery or 120 for cesarean section, which can be extended by 15 days for solo parent. Married male employees are entitled to 7 days of paid paternity leave for each of the 4 pregnancies of their wife and can also receive up to 7 additional days that mother can transfer to him. Both types of leave are applied to miscarriage, like emergency termination of pregnancy, with maternity leave of 60 days. As part of Republic Act that public and private sectors should follow about the mandated maternity and paternity law. Like for example in maternity, uh, on on April 26, 2021, Republic Act 11210 expanded maternity leave. The benefit that consists of 105 expanded from 60 days leave with full salary and all benefits needed that was executed by law last February 2019 and declared April 2025. In paternity, Republic Act 8187 of 1996, Paternity Leave Act of 1996 was given to all married men of 7 days of full salary and benefits to serve their family. That's all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ray El Cañeso from Group 1. Tonight, I am discussing examples of gender-responsive CSA community development project, educational scholarship for girls and women. This means that a company provides financial support or funding to help girls and women access education at various levels: primary, secondary, vocational, or higher education. It includes financial assistance for schooling, paying for school fees, books, uniforms, transportations, or learning materials, covering tuition fee for college or vocational training programs, targeting gender gaps in education. Girls and women often face barriers such as poverty, early marriage, social norms that prioritize boys' education, limited access to STEM fields. Scholarships help remove these barriers and encourage their continued education, supporting career development, offering scholarship in fields where women are underrepresented. Example, STEM leadership technology, creating pathways for women to gain skills, confidence, and better employment opportunities. It's empowering women and communities by supporting girls and women's education. Companies help like reduce gender inequality, improve women's economic independence, strengthen community development and long-term progress. In summary, this example means that the company uses its CSR program to invest in the education of girls and women, helping them overcome barriers, gain skills, and improve their future opportunities, ultimately contributing to more gender equitable community development. Healthcare initiative addressing maternal and reproductive health. This refer to company supported programs that aims to improve the health and well-being of women, especially in areas related to pregnancy, childbirth, and reproductive rights. This initiative help women access the healthcare services they need and reduce health risks that disproportionately affect them. It includes maternal health services like providing prenatal before birth and postnatal after birth checkups, supporting safe childbirth practices and skilled birth attendants, offering nutrition programs for pregnant women, partnering with clinics or hospitals to improve maternal care, reproductive health education, like providing information on family planning, contracep- contraception, and reproductive rights, educating women on menstrual health and hygiene, outreach programs on preventing reproductive health diseases. access to healthcare facilities, like funding community clinics that focus on women's health, mobile health units in rural and underserved areas, subsidizing or offering free medical services for women, reducing health inequalities. Women often face barriers such as limited access to quality healthcare, financial constraints, cultural stigma around reproductive issues. CSR initiates help overcome these challenges by making healthcare more accessible and respectful of women's needs, empowering women and improving community well-being. Better maternal and reproductive health leads to lower maternal mortality, healthier families and children, stronger, more resilient communities. In summary, this example means that a company supports health services and programs that protect and improve women's maternal and reproductive health, helping reduce gender specific health risks and promoting community development. Thank you.
Good evening, classmates. Good evening, Ma'am Evelyn. Start na po ako regarding sa report po, reproductive health initiatives. To provide more detailed explanation po sa reproductive health and community safety program, and to the examples and prevention strategies po, reproductive health initiatives. Comprehensive services, reproductive health program should offer a range of service, including family planning, maternal care, and prevention and treatment of sexually transmitted infections. Maternal health, these initiatives focus on prenatal care, safe delivery practices, and postnatal support to reduce maternal mortality rates. For example po, the UAMS, Institute for Digital Health and Innovation, high-risk pregnancy program increases access to care and improves neonatal outcomes to individuals in rural Arkansas. Family planning, providing access to contraceptions and family planning services empowers women to make informed decisions about their reproductive health and family size. Teen pregnancy prevention, program like It's a Girl Thing, making proud choices, offer education on prevention, self-confidence, personal responsibilities, and mental well-being to adolescent girls, which has significantly reduced teen pregnancy rates. Access to care, mobile clinics such as the Healthy program in the Texas Rio Grande Valley deliver basic pregnancy-related and preventive health services to women and underserved communities. Community safety programs. Addressing violence against women, community safety programs should focus on preventing and responding to violence against women, including domestic violence, sexual assault, and other forms of gender-based violence. Comprehensive approaches. Effective prevention requires promoting healthy, safe, and equal environments, behavior, and attitudes, and addressing the drivers of violence. Example po, community mobilization. Mobilization communities to change attitudes and social norms that contribute to intimate partner violence. And HIV risk can be achieved through advocacy with local leaders, capacity building for healthy care providers and police officers. Safe spaces. Creating safe spaces of offering support services for victims of domestic violence and sexual assault, such as emergency housing, crisis intervention, and community education. Educational programs. Implementing programs in schools and communities to promote healthy relationships, challenge gender and foster culture and respect among adolescents. Janus campaign, for example, offer prevention programs in middle and high school, highlight the red flags of unhealthy dating relationships. Telehealth services, providing psychotherapy and counseling services via video conferencing to survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault in rural locations. Community watchdog programs, establishing community watchdog program to record and publish stories about police violence and provide safety tips, and done by the Santa Maria's Foundation in Colombia for transgender women. Awareness campaign, increase awareness and positive impact of women access to economic opportunities, combating stigma and discrimination. Prevention strategies, empowering women. Empowering women economically, socially, and politically is crucial for preventing violence and promoting reproductive health. Challenging social norms, addressing and changing the social norms and attitudes that condone violence against women and perpetuate gender equality, in changing men and boys, involving men and boys in violence prevention efforts by promoting healthy masculinities and positive, supportive relationships. Comprehensive education, providing comprehensive sexuality education in school to promote healthy and relationships, consent, and respect. Multi-sector collaboration, encouraging collaboration between various sectors, including healthcare, education, government, and community organization, to address the complex factors that contribute to violence and poor reproductive health outcomes. Trauma-informed care, training police and legal experts on documenting sexual violence forensically and introducing medical glossary to enhance understanding of sexual violence crimes. Community involvement, engaging religious and community leaders as cultural gatekeepers and shaping social norms, either supporting of initiatives. Support services, providing direct survivor-centered support to survivors, including medical, legal, and psychological services. That's all po yung report ko. Maraming salamat po. God bless to you po. God bless all po. Thank you.
Good evening, classmates, and good evening, ma'am. I'm Robert Tabuso. I'm here to give examples of company doing CSR that uplifts women. Jollibee Group Foundation, or JGP, launches Farmer Entrepreneurship Program, or FEP, and it started in 2008. The purpose of FEP is to bridge smallholder farmers with large-scale buyers like Jollibee. It helps farmers transition into agro-entrepreneur by providing training, mentoring, and support. When Jollibee did a program, over 30% of FEP participants are women farmers. It's a significant achievement of a sector traditionally dominated by men. This demonstrates how CSR can uplift women in local communities while contributing to business sustainability. Thank you.
Good evening, classmates. Good evening, teachers. I'm Jinky Santos from Group 2, and I'll be discussing gender equality as a sustainable development goal, or the SDG 5. Way back in 2015, the United Nations set a number of ambitious goals to be achieved in the next 15 years to make our world to be a better place for everyone, end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure the prosperity for all. And part of its 17 goals is ang SDG 5 nga po, o yung Gender Equality as a Sustainable Development Goal, or the SDG 5. United Nations Sustainable Development Goal, or the SDG 5, achieve the gender equality and empower all women and girls. It is emphasized equal access to education, healthcare, decent work, and representation in leadership and decision-making across political, economics, and the public life. Gender equality is not only a matter of human rights, but it's also a foundation of sustainable, inclusive, and a peaceful society. According to Ban Ki-moon, former 8th Secretary General of United Nations, LGBT rights are human rights. So it is emphasized the rights for all and equal opportunity to everyone. So that's all. The next reporter will be Mr. Raymond Seno. Thank you.
Po, magandang gabi. Ako po pala si Joshua Aguilar David, part po ng group to. Ang reporting ko po is regarding po sa importance of integrating SDG 5 in CLR. Number 1 po is business contribute to sustainable development. And private sector organization play a crucial role in achieving SDG 5 by alignment CLR program. Jen.
So ayun po, maraming salamat Sir Joshua. No? So pag-usapan naman po natin yung companies that champion equality, help address systematic barriers faced by women and marginalized genders. So ano nga ba yung companies that champion equality? So ibig sabihin po nito is yung aktibong pinapairalang patas na trato, pantay na oportunidad, or inclusive policy. Ito yung mga tumutulong upang mabawasan ang mga sistema na hadlang na kadalasang nararanasan ng kababaihan at iba pang marginalized na kasarian sa lipunan at sa trabaho. So ano nga ba yung mga ilang halimbawa na hadlang na ito? Ito yung hindi pantay na pagkakataon sa posisyon ng pamumuno, syempre yung agwat ng sahod sa lalaki at sa babae, yung diskriminasyon, or yung mga limitadong access sa edukasyon, training, seminars, mga professional development. So kapag ang mga kumpanya ay nagpapatupad ng mga polisiya tulad ng mga patas na pag-hire, pantay na sahod, antay na diskriminasyon, mentorship programs, or suporta sa kalusugan at seguridad ng kababaihan, nagiging patas ang kapaligiran kung saan lahat ay may pagkakataon na umunlad. So yun lang naman po ang ibig sabihin ng companies that champion equality help address systematic barriers faced by women and marginalized gender. So yun lang naman po, maraming salamat. Tawagin na po natin ang next reporter na si Ma'am Rica Dideles and Sir Philip Dideles. So maraming salamat po.
I am Rica Dideles and I'll be reporting importance of integrating SDG 5 in CSR. So number 2, it promotes innovation and inclusive growth. Diverse teams foster creativity, better problem solving, and innovative business solutions. So for point number 2, we highlight that integrating SDG 5 or gender equality in CSR initiatives promotes innovation and inclusive growth. Ibig sabihin, kapag isang company ay nagbibigay ng pantay na opportunity sa lahat, regardless of gender, mas nagiging malawak ang ideas at perspective sa loob ng organization. And then, diverse teams naturally foster creativity. Kapag iba-iba ang background, experiences at pananaw ng mga empleyado, mas marami silang naipapakitang fresh and innovative solutions. Mas nagiging mabilis at mas epektibo ang problem solving dahil hindi lang iisang anggulo ang tinitignan. And this results in better decision making and more modern business ideas. And then second, inclusive workplaces attract a wider talent pool. Kung pantay-pantay ang opportunity, mas maraming skilled and talented individuals ang naeengganyo magtrabaho sa company. Hindi sila nalilimitahan sa gender at dito pumapasok ang mas mataas na productivity at competitive advantages. The more diverse the talent, the stronger the company becomes. So for our next reporter, may we hear from Mr. Philip M. Dideles. Thank you.
And lastly, inclusive companies are more capable of sustainable market expansion. Dahil iba-iba ang thinking at expertise ng workforce, mas nagiging madali para sa kumpanya na makapasok sa iba't ibang market. They can engage different customers, address broader needs, and develop product of strategies that are fit for more sectors. In summary, SDG 5 in CSR is not only about fairness. It is a smart business strategy when gender equality is practiced. Creativity increase, talent grows, and business become more sustainable in the long run. So equality is not just ethical, it drives innovation and long-term success. For the next reporter, may I call on Rosan Awa. Thank you.
Good evening everyone. I'm Rosan R. Awat from Group 2. For our topic is importance of integrating SDG 5 in CSR. Number 3, enhances company reputation and long-term profitability. First, consumers increasingly support brands that promote fairness and inclusivity. Second, gender-responsive companies build stronger stakeholder trust, customer loyalty, and investor confidence.
When a company treats everyone fairly, men, women, LGBTQ+, and all genders, people trust the company more. Because of that trust, more customers buy from them. Employees stay longer and investors feel confident putting money into the business. This leads to good reputation and higher profits in the long run. Consumers increasingly support brands that promote fairness and inclusivity. Means people like buying products from companies that are fair, respectful, and treat all genders equally. An example, a clothing brand that shows different body types, men and women, and promotes equality in their ads attract more customers because people appreciate inclusivity. In the Philippines, brands like Bench or Pen Shop gain support when they campaign for equality and diversity. Next, gender-responsive companies build stronger stakeholder trust, customer loyalty, and investor confidence. Meaning, companies that treat women and men fairly, such as equal pay, safe workplace, and zero discrimination, gain trust from employees, customers, and investors. Example is Accenture, PH, and Global. A company that gives equal opportunities for promotion regardless of gender makes employee feel valued so they stay longer. Another example is Starbucks. May fair treatment policy sila sa mga employees, may benefits kahit part-time, may anti-harassment training at support for working moms. Dahil maayos sila sa staff, yung mga customers tuloy nagiging loyal. Thank you po, that's all. And for the next reporter po will be Marjorie Salodario and Rosaline Umpad.
Good evening everyone, I'm Rosaline Umpad from Group 2. Case study, Unilever's Unstereotype Campaign. Unilever launched the Unstereotype Campaign, which challenges harmful gender stereotype in advertising and promote diverse, realistic portrayals of men and women. Next, beyond marketing, Unilever has also advanced gender equality in its workplace, aiming from balanced leadership, representation, and equal opportunities. Third, this initiative demonstrates how a global company can integrate SDG 5 into CSR and the business practices, driving both social impact and the business success. The explanation to Ms. Marjorie. Thank you.
Good evening, classmate. A stereotype campaign ng Universal ng isang strategy. Ito ay naglalayon tanggalin ang mga panlipunan na stereotype sa advertising, lalo na yung mga nakagawi ang frontal ng babae at lalaki na hindi realistic ang naglilihim sa tao. Halimbawa, babae bilang tanging homemaker, lalaki bilang naging malakas o hindi nagpapakita ng emosyon. Sa madaling salita, hindi lang positive message sa ads. Sinusubukan din nilang gawing mas advertise at realistic ang mga karakter ng kwento na ipinapakita sa commercial at marketing materials. Bakit nga ba mahalaga to? Social impacts. Isa sa mga maganda siya dahil stereotype sa media at advertising ang nag-i-influence at expectation sa society. Kung paulit-ulit na nakikita ng taong isang limitado o detektaryong imahe, nagiging normal ang refleksyon ng mga diskriminasyon at unequal opportunity. Business case. Ito naman yung consumers now expand brand to reflect modern value, adds, and influence at authentic, mas nakaka-relate at mabumubuo ng trust at brand ng loyalty. SG5, alignment. Direktang sinusuportahan sa Goal 5 gender equality dahil sinisira nito ang mga kulturang buyer at nagpo-promote ng equal presentation. So, dati, ang ads ng detergent, babae lang, na malinis, tapos na lalaki ang background. Ngayon, ads ng detergent, family, clear together, father show, technical, anak na malinis, mother as a professional, na nagpo-promote or ibinabahagi nila yung mga household chores nila. Ang result ay pinapakita ang shared responsibility na nagbibigay ng bagong normal sa views. Simple explanation. Universal stereotype campaign ay isang magandang halimbawa kung paano mag-promote. Thank you po.